In 1971, Southwest Airlines launched with 3 planes flying between 3 Texas cities. Competitors laughed at them. Nobody took them seriously as a threat to established airlines with massive fleets and nationwide routes. 10 years later, Southwest was the most profitable airline in America while competitors were losing billions and filing for bankruptcy. The secret was not better service or cheaper tickets. The secret was turning planes around in 10 minutes. Here's why that mattered. A plane sitting on the ground makes zero revenue. A plane in the air generates money. Southwest figured out how to keep planes flying more hours per day than any competitor could match. This is the story of how Southwest Airlines became the most consistently profitable airline in history by doing the opposite of what every established airline believed was necessary for success. If you want to understand how companies win by simplifying what everyone else complicates, subscribe to SnapOldBusiness now. Let's get into how Southwest turned 10-minute turnarounds into billions in profit. Herb Kelleher and Roland King founded Southwest in 1967 with a simple idea. Fly short routes between Texas cities at low prices. No meals, no assigned seats, just cheap, fast transportation like a bus with wings. The idea seemed too simple to work. Established airlines believed passengers wanted amenities, comfort, assigned seats, meals, and connections to destinations nationwide. Southwest ignored all of that and focused entirely on getting people from point A to point B, cheaply and quickly. Major airlines tried to stop Southwest from launching through legal challenges. They sued to block Southwest's operating license. They lobbied Texas regulators to deny approval. The legal battle lasted for years and nearly bankrupted Southwest before a single plane flew. Finally, in 1971, Southwest won the legal fight and began operations with 3 Boeing 737 jets. The company flew between Dallas, Houston, and San Antonio only. The business model was radically different from every other airline at the time. Traditional airlines used hub-and-spoke systems where passengers connected through major airports to reach final destinations. Southwest flew point-to-point routes only. No connections, no hubs, just direct flights between cities that passengers wanted to travel between frequently. This eliminated complexity. Southwest didn't need massive hub airports with complicated logistics. They didn't coordinate connecting flights across dozens of cities. They just flew the same routes back and forth all day, maximizing aircraft utilization per plane. But the real innovation was turnaround time. Traditional airlines took 45 to 60 minutes to unload passengers, clean the cabin, refuel, load new passengers, and prepare for the next flight. Southwest did it in 10 minutes consistently. Here's how they achieved that speed. First, no assigned seating. Passengers boarded in order of check-in time. First come, first served. This eliminated the bottleneck of passengers searching for specific seat assignments and blocking aisles while storing luggage overhead. Second, Southwest only flew Boeing 737s. Every plane was identical. Pilots, mechanics, and flight attendants only needed training on one aircraft type. Parts were interchangeable. Maintenance was standardized. This simplified everything and reduced costs dramatically. Third, no meals on flights under 2 hours. This eliminated catering trucks, meal storage, trash collection, and cleaning time between flights. Passengers got peanuts and drinks only. Most travelers on short flights didn't care about meals anyway. Fourth, ground crews were cross-trained to handle multiple tasks. The same person might unload bags, refuel the plane, and clean the cabin. No waiting for specialized crews to arrive. Everyone did whatever needed to be done to get the plane back in the air. Fifth, Southwest used secondary airports when possible. These airports had less congestion, lower fees, and faster taxi times to runways. Less time waiting in line to take off meant more flights per day, per aircraft. The 10-minute turnaround had massive economic implications. Traditional airlines flew their planes 6 to 7 flights per day. Southwest flew 10 to 12 flights per day with the same planes. That's nearly double the revenue per aircraft without buying more planes. More flights per day also meant better aircraft utilization rates. Southwest's planes were in the air more hours per day, generating revenue while competitors' planes sat idle at gates for 45 minutes between flights, earning nothing. What made this even more impressive was that it wasn't chaotic speed, it was controlled precision. Every person on the ground knew exactly what to do, and exactly when to do it. There was no wasted motion, no hesitation, no confusion. And behind all of it was something even more important: discipline. The 10-minute turnaround wasn't a goal, it was a standard. Every delay mattered. Every extra minute meant lost revenue. So the entire operation was built around one idea: respect the clock. Because in this business, time wasn't just money, time was everything. The business model scaled beautifully. As Southwest added routes and planes, the simplicity remained. Every route used the same aircraft type, the same operational procedures, the same 10-minute turnarounds. There was no complexity creep as the airline grew larger. Competitors tried to copy Southwest's low-cost model but failed repeatedly. They tried to add low-cost divisions while maintaining their traditional premium services. This created complexity and contradictions. Half measures didn't work. You had to commit fully to simplicity to make it work economically. United Airlines launched TED, Dell launched Song, Continental launched Continental Light. All failed within a few years they couldn't achieve. Southwest's cost structure while maintaining their existing hub-and-spoke complexity and multiple aircraft types requiring different training and parts. Southwest maintained profitability every single year from 1973 to 2019. An unprecedented 47 consecutive years of profits in an industry where most airlines lose money regularly. Even during economic recessions, fuel price spikes and industry crises, Southwest remained profitable. The airline expanded methodically beyond Texas throughout the 1970s and 1980s. New cities were added carefully. The point-to-point model scaled nationwide. By the 1990s, Southwest was one of the largest domestic airlines in America measured by passengers carried. Southwest's employee culture reinforced the operational efficiency. Flight attendants were known for humor and informality. The corporate culture emphasized fun, teamwork, and doing whatever it takes to turn planes quickly. Employees bought into the mission because it worked. Herb Kelleher, the founder and CEO, famously said their business was not transportation. Their business was customer service that happened to involve airplanes. This mindset permeated the company. Happy employees created happy customers who came back repeatedly. The 10-minute turnaround became legendary in the airline industry. Business schools taught it as a case study in operational efficiency. Competitors studied it, but few could replicate it because it required rebuilding the entire operation from scratch around simplicity. Southwest proved that you don't need to offer everything to win. You just need to do one thing extremely well and build everything around that core competency. For Southwest, that one thing was getting people from city A to city B cheaply, quickly, and reliably. And even with results like these, most of the industry didn't believe it could last. To them, this model looked too simple, too fragile. They assumed something had to give. Either costs would rise, or customers would demand more, or the system would break under pressure. But year after year, none of that happened. And that's what made it so difficult to compete with. The company also avoided the temptation to add complexity as it grew. No business class, no meals, no assigned seats, no international flights for decades. Every addition was evaluated against whether it would slow down turnaround times or complicate operations. Usually the answer was no. Here's what the Southwest story teaches. Operational efficiency matters more than most companies realize. Southwest didn't win with better marketing or superior customer service. They won by flying planes more hours per day than competitors through ruthless operational discipline. Second, simplicity scales better than complexity. Southwest's single aircraft type point-to-point routes and standardized procedures allowed them to grow without proportional increases in operational headaches. Competitors with multiple aircraft types and hub-and-spoke networks couldn't match that efficiency at scale. Third, half measures fail in business model innovation. You cannot be a low-cost airline while also offering premium services. You cannot turn planes in 10 minutes while also serving meals and coordinating connections. Commit fully or don't bother trying to compete. Next up on SnapOldBusiness, how IKEA became the world's largest furniture seller by making customers assemble everything themselves. That video is on screen now. Subscribe if this was worth your time. See you in the next one.